This is the Typewriter 3D embossing folder from Sizzix. It has a lot of dimension to it, and even the background part of this folder creates a bunch of texture and dimension. So anytime I'm using a 3D embossing folder, I like to mist both sides of my paper first, just to make sure to moisten the paper fibers. It's going to help push them right into all the nooks and crannies of this embossing folder. I put it through on my Big Shot machine with my multi-purpose platform tab 1 open, and I only use one cutting plate with it because of the extra thickness of 3D embossing folders. That's all that you need. If you put 2 cutting plates with it, it would be too tight. You would not be able to get it through. So look at all that dimension that one folder created. You can leave it as is. I decided to add a little bit of foundry wax as well as color sprays to it. So the first thing I'm doing, I'm applying it with my finger, and I'm just putting it around the edges, and then I'm lightly putting it over top of the letters just to make them pop. You could also use ink pads and blending brushes in order to make them pop and stand out a little bit. Once that foundry wax is done, I use an embossing tool to heat that foundry wax to make that leafing come through. If you've never used foundry wax before, it's a liquid leafing medium, and it's really fun to use and can be used in many different ways. Once that is completely done, I'll clean up, and then I'm using some color sprays in order to color that background. I could leave it as is again, but by color spraying it, I can have those inks blend and bleed with each other and create a beautiful colored background for cards. This is a great 3D embossing folder. I love all the texture and dimension you get from these 3D embossing folders, and this one you can use for so many different occasions.